Hi everyone, the purpose of this video is to define where documents get its default currency. So when you have a transactional document, where does it get its currency? The price list is the top of the waterfall. It's what starts the whole process. So when you create a price list, you have to define a currency. When you create a business partner, you typically will assign it a default price list. So when you create a sales order or a purchase order against a given business partner, that sales order will also get that same price list. Now, on a sales order, the sales order currency is defined by the price list. In other words, there's no way to change the price list in a sales order except by changing the price list. When you create an invoice off of a sales order, the price list propagates, and therefore the invoice gets its currency through its price list from the sales order. If you create an invoice from scratch, you still have to define the price list, and so therefore again, the invoice's currency is defined by its price list. Now, when you create a payment and you choose an invoice, the system will go and look at the currency of the invoice and set the payment's currency. However, there's no concept of a price list on the payment. You can set the currency as you wish. You can change it. In other words, you can have a euro or a pound pay a USD invoice, as an example. So the invoice will default it, but you get to choose whatever currency you want here. When you create a payment, and let's say you allocate it to, you specify it against a given invoice, the payment will create an allocation. So whatever is responsible for creating the allocation, in this case, if you're creating a payment and you specify the invoice, the payments completed logic will create the allocation for you, and therefore the allocation will get the currency from the payment. Another way to create an allocation is if your invoice and your payment are created in isolation, you can go to a window called Payment Allocation. The Payment Allocation window has a currency, and that currency will drive what the allocation currency gets. So for example, you could have a USD invoice, a pound payment, and a euro allocation, and it all just works. When you create your bank statement line, let me delete this arrow. When you create your bank statement line, your bank will drive the bank statement line's currency. So if you're at your bank statement header, you do create lines from, you bring in a given payment, even though that payment may be in pounds, if your bank is in euro, the system will do the conversion for you such that your bank statement line lands in the bank's native currency. So when you start going through examples and you start seeing me flying through the different screens, you at least have an idea of where and how the currency gets set for each of these documents. If you have any questions, post them to the comments below or send an email to the mailing list. I hope this helps, and thank you very much for your time.